And welcome back to Big Apple Hockey for another episode of The Final Buzzer with yours truly, John Flakowski. Follow me on Twitter at 92in82. I post a whole lot about the Rangers on there. So if you ever want quality hockey content on Twitter, I'm always posting something about them. I would say at least 90% of my posts are about the Rangers. So follow me on there. It's also across the bottom of the screen as well, as you can see in the ticker. Follow or join a Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Big Apple Hockey. I post updates in there. I do good, bad, and ugly posts in there as well. Also, stir up various talk about, hockey and everything like that. So, just like I said, join the group, and I do updates as to when I'm going to do these as well. But I see you all in the comments section. What's going on, everybody? Big win last night for the Rangers. Exhilarating win. A little drama in it too. Some drama during the game itself that we'll talk about with a certain former Ranger that seems to be disliked by his teammates. Interesting, right? So we'll spill the tea leaves in a little bit as well. But we're going to get on to our big part of the show, the first part of the big segment of the show, I should say. Like you all know it. I don't have to tell you what time it is. You already know it. So let's get on with it. Yep, it's that time again. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And there is no Patrick Nemeth to talk about. So that's part of the good. I mean, we're not going to go too crazy talking about that part of it, but that is part of the good. So, we will talk about, we will start with the usual good stuff, because that's how we do here. We like to keep it positive. But, Mark, if you're watching, give yourself a pat on the back. You've been the president of the Chris Kreider fan club. You've been the one guy that's been, singing his praises the whole time when I was sitting there questioning whether this was a good idea to give him the contract. And earlier on in the year when I kept saying we needed more from him, and now all of a sudden Chris Kreider is giving us more. He's given us a lot more, and he's a point-per-game player. And he's also the first player to hit 30 goals in the NHL. He's the league leader. How the hell am I saying this on January 25th of the hockey season? Is this real? I have to pinch myself just to let you know that, just to let myself know that I'm awake. Because I can't believe that Chris Kreider is leading the NHL in goals. What's going on, everybody? John, Lou, Mike Gabris, 2K, I see all you in here. Dylan, Mikey, usuals. David, I can't believe that this guy's leading the NHL in goals. I can't. And he continues to play well on and off the puck every night. I don't know if it's because he wants this, if he wants the C. Or I don't know if it's just Gerard Gallant finally found a way to get through to him and unlock that consistency and get him to play every night, unlike Alain Vigneault and David Quinn couldn't do, what they couldn't do, I should say. But I mean, he's been great more nights than not. Chris Kreider has given us just a mode, beast mode, beasting. Shefra, welcome back. But yeah, I mean, you guys are all saying beast mode, beasting, and so on, and he's gotten to that next level. I mean, I would drop Dragon Ball Z references on you here, and probably most of you won't get it, but it's kind of like when Goku finally obtains Super Saiyan form. We waited for it for so long, and now Chris Kreider has finally done it. And he's playing great. I mean, John, you might be right. Maybe it's Turk. I don't know what exactly it is, but he's playing well. just you're getting the efforts on a nightly basis, on a shift-to-shift basis. He's winning 50-50 battles. And the craziest part about this is that line has missed it's missed a third player. Like all season, that line has been lacking that third player, that extra play driver. And I talked about, Kessel would be a good fit, or Riley Smith, or, like you need another top six winger there to play with them. But that's just incredible to see what he's doing, and just with him and Mika Zibanejad. And Mika Zibanejad's been very good as of lately as well. And you're asking about why this line, has been playing so well. It's these two, because they don't even have a third guy as the answer. And Mike, I see you've asked this question twice. We'll get to it in a little bit. We will. I promise you. So, yeah, I don't get it. I don't know if Kakko deserves another shot on that line, 2K. I don't. I just think that he doesn't fit in with those two. But that's another discussion. But Chris Kreider has really been one of the driving forces on this team. I don't get how this line is playing so well with just the two of them producing, because they really, it's just been those two. It's been the Kreider and Zibanejad show. And whoever's been on that line has really just been along for the ride. So, hey, Matthew, I see you in there. But, Lou, Kreider has jacked it up in Buchnevic's absence. We'd all love to have Buchnevich back, but, geez, yeah. We'll talk about JT Miller in a little bit, or more like in the Q&A section, Matthew. But he's a name that's been brought up, so we'll get to that in a bit. But Chris Kreider just right now, just wow. I don't have a whole lot of words that can really describe the way that he's playing right now. He's just giving you everything the team needs: physical play, speed, forechecking, board battles, net front presence. It looks like he's being a leader by example on ice too. So I definitely love what I'm seeing from him. And then moving on, you were talking, I saw Artemi Panarin's name brought up by David over here, and Panarin kind of looking like himself again. The shot the shot or the pass, whatever you want to say that was, to Barclay Goodrow for that incredible deflection. That was something. Artemi Panarin looks like he has the jump that he hasn't had all year. I know he was battling something before. He was in COVID protocol, but Artemi Panarin looks like he's himself again. And this is good news for this team, because this team has been abysmal 5-on-5, and they've needed him to be himself in order to be much better at 5-on-5. It looked like that jump that he got from I saw that too, Mike. I love that. They flashed to that girl probably about 2 or 3 times. So I thought that was great. Artemi Panarin got put on that line with Zibanejad and Kreider in the Arizona game when they were down. And then all of a sudden, it just, from that point on, honestly, it looks like Artemi Panarin, it really had a jump that he hasn't had in a while. Like, you could just tell, like, earlier on in the season, he was still getting points, but, like, there was a lot of hesitation to his game, like the pull up and stop, and then he just wouldn't make the move. Now he's skating with conviction when he has the puck. And Rich, you're totally right about this. Something seemed off, and I've said that in several of these. Something just hadn't seemed right, but he was still getting points. If that was Artemi Panarin in a lull, if we get back the Artemi Panarin that we've had for the last 2 seasons, this team could cause some real noise in the playoffs with the right additions. Let me be clear there, with the right additions. So. And yes, David, I agree. The top 6, the 2 pairings in the top 6, Zibanejad and Kreider and Brett and Strome, have both lacked a third player on that line for most of the year. And yeah, Dryden Hunt had his little stint where he looked okay with them, but that wasn't going to last. And Rich, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe it was a nagging injury. Who knows? But I mean, maybe you know what, Mike? I hope you're right about this. I hope Kakko. The reason why Kakko's been out or the Kakko's been off is because he's been hurt. Because if he comes back healthy and he starts playing like an absolute beast, then we're all going to love Kakko. So, I mean, I hope you're right about this. And Sheffer, I do agree with you with Lafreniere. His skating has been a little better as of late. I like the way he's been on his feet and been aggressive and been moving his feet. So, yeah. And yes, he's 20 years old, but you can expect more from players from what they've given us so far. So there's nothing wrong with saying that. You know, nobody hates them. They can give you more. That's all. So yeah, but you know, going back to the point again about Panarin, he looks like himself again, and I think that I think he needed these 2 games with the way that he's played. I believe he had 4 points these last 2 games because I believe he had 2 points against Arizona as well. So let's see here. I'm just going to verify that because I believe that is correct. And Panarin at the goal. And Panarin had a goal and assist against Arizona. So that's 4 points in the last 2 games for Artemi Panarin. So I was correct. So I just wanted to talk about that. Mike, this is a good comment. We will talk about that in a little bit too. That's one of my talking points. Some drama involved with that. But some good drama and some fun drama, some intrigue. But we'll move on from Artemi Panarin. And you know what? If I'm going to trash a player, when they play well or they play decently well, I got to give them credit too. So I'll stick to my guns when I say that, and I'll say that Hájek was surprisingly solid last night. I can't even I can't believe I'm saying this just because of how bad Libor Hájek has been, you know, at times. But Libor Hájek actually looked all right last night. Like he didn't have any errors that I could think of where I was like, okay, that's a bad play. No, he actually moved he moved the puck well. He played well with Schneider. He looked better with Schneider than he's looked with any of the other partners he's played with. I mean, yeah, Hájek does look good when he's compared with Nemeth. Mike, you're right about that. But he definitely had himself a decent game last night. I got to give credit where credit is due. Hájek definitely played well. I have no complaints about his game last night, and he definitely, if he keeps playing like this, he'll probably stay in the lineup, which in a way kind of sucks because you want to see Zach Jones. But I mean, it just, again, this is kind of really telling. It shows you how bad that Nemeth is. That Hájek replaces, and that pairing goes from the worst to, you know, against Arizona to a solid pairing that isn't going to harm you against a much better team in LA. Like that says a lot. And Sheffer, you're right about this. Schneider looks for real. So, Chris, it pains me that Dawson Mercer's out playing Lafreniere. No, I get why you would. I get why you think that, but that ain't gonna last. It's nothing to really worry about that. Rich, we'll talk more in about a Q&A. I heard some rumblings. I'm not gonna say where I heard it from, but I heard some things. So, and then the next little bullet point, because we're going to move on from Hájek, would be that Lafreniere reminds Byfield of who went before him in the 2020 draft. And Alexis Lafreniere scored that really nice goal in the shootout in the backhand, and he just went by the bench and pointed one. I don't know if he was pointing at Byfield, or I don't know if he was pointing at his teammates, but either way, he reminded him. And he just said, oh, yeah, you know what? You think you're going to score a really nice goal? No. You might be my Team Canada, World Junior teammate, but I'm going to upstage you again. And he did. And, and you're right. Hopefully the comment here, where is it? I just saw it before. Where was it? I was just looking for this. And okay. Yeah, I hope him getting the skills competition goal gets him shooting and skating more, and Mike talking about Lafreniere there. So David, come on. Do we really have to be so negative here? You know, we're trying to find the light in what's been a rough start to a career. And you know, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. So yeah, Colorado does not have a first this year for Kemper. So if they get the rental, you know, they're gonna have to give up something else. So Cow Bowers, you know, someone like that, maybe even Timmins or something. Who knows? So yeah, this is the good. Sheesh. No, there is going to be some bad in here, David. Trust me, there will be. So you'll get your dose of negativity in a little bit. Don't you worry. And you're right. You know what? He needs to shoot more and score, and he needs to skate. Needs to keep his feet moving. But hopefully, this is a confidence boost and a step in the right direction. That's all. I mean, not really. You know, it was a good moment. So, hold on. Oh yeah, that's right. Timmins was traded for Nemeth. Okay, not for Nemeth, for friggin' Kemper. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot about that. So, but you know, the bad is easy. The starts, you know what? They got the first goal, so I can't say that the start was terrible. It was better than the last few games, but it's still not good enough. They need to be better in terms of starting. I didn't have that as one of my bad points, though, because I thought it was improved, but it still needs to be better. So I'll just throw that little comment in there while you have that up, and that'll get the point across there. But we're going to move on from Lafreniere because Foxy decides to send the Garden Faithful home happy, and that was just disgusting. That was just an incredible backhand goal from Adam Fox. Cale Makar, eat your heart out. That's what happens. So Adam Fox gets a nice assist on the Kreider goal, and then he goes and is the shootout hero. So Adam Fox definitely likes to step his game up on Garden Ice, and he did it again. I thought he had a little bit of a rough start to the game, but I think a lot of the defense did. Maybe Sand, Schneider, and Hayek. I think the top four did not play well early on. So, yeah, he hit it. He hit it top cheese and in the back of the top shelf. So, yeah. Fox's Lou, I'm not sure what you're talking about with Fox's first. Really not sure. So. But Adam Fox definitely knows that he knows puck. He can play puck, and I'm going to tell you right now, Adam Fox he's got to be the Norris frontrunner. I know a lot of people want to talk about Cale Makar and all of his points. His first his first shootout. Okay, well I can tell you right now, why did Ryan Strome go before Alexis Lafreniere when Alexis Lafreniere has better hands and a better shot? I don't know, right? No, the only thing I'll say is that Gallant, some of his Gallant said after the game that Foxy told him at the start of the season he's uncomfortable taking shootouts. Well, that's kind of an interesting thing because Adam Fox is very good at them, apparently. He's very good at them. He's got some hands, tell you that. But yeah, Adam Fox, it's got to be a confidence booster for him. So, I mean, if he's one of those guys that said that he wasn't really comfortable with shootouts, then that's surprising. So. Yes, he did. That's the word that I've been hearing, David. Yes, he did. Because he has the choice to pick there. After you have to submit the first three. The first three are submitted. So you don't get to choose the first three after each one. So like the first shooter goes, then you choose the second, and then you choose the third. No, you have to submit three right off the bat. And then if it goes into sudden death, then you get to choose as the shootout goes. So when LA chose Byfield, Gallant responded with Lafreniere for that reason. He definitely did. And Lafreniere rose to the occasion. So that was really good to see. So very, very, very happy about that. So we're going to move on from Foxy, though. So we got some other things to go over. Schneider isn't going anywhere. I doubt they're moving him, and I don't think he's going back to Hartford. I think he's here with the Rangers to stay. Whether that number 45 changes, could be another story. He could have another number next season. But I'm telling you right now, he is not going back to Hartford, and they're not trading him. Unless someone elite becomes available, a young elite player, I do not see the Rangers trading Braden Schneider. So, Chris, this is a good question. I'm going to bookmark it. We'll get back to that in Q&A. Mike, I totally agree with you on this. Fox is a much better overall defenseman. Makar is definitely a better skater and shooter and is an offensive guy, but yeah, Rick, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Who knows? Maybe that's why Fox doesn't like taking them. So, but Braden Schneider isn't going anywhere. I doubt they send him back down at this point. I just think he's played too good. Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I think that I totally agree that he's not going anywhere unless it's someone like that. Because I don't think Draisaitl or McDavid are obviously going anywhere anytime soon. But I know Valaket was saying something about this, but Valaket also said that he had a spidey sense that Jack Eichel was going to be a Ranger, and that never happened. So, yeah, I saw the Lego Rocks video, Joe. Yeah, I to a point, the goal, what he does, my only problem with Lego Rocks is that he tries to cover a lot of teams and he buys into narratives that he sees online. And the narrative that Igor is the only reason why this team is as good as they are is kind of off base a little bit, because they have several guys that are producing at a big time level. Do they need some help? Yes. Do they need help defensively? Yes. Do they need help at 5-on-5? Yes. But it's not as bad as some of these people make it out to be. And Lego Rocks is running with a narrative off of goals saved above expected numbers that he got from Jay Fresh and Top Down Hockey. And Top Down Hockey said that Henrik Lundqvist was not as good as people make him out to be because of scorekeeping bias, meaning that they log high danger chances that are not high danger in different areas to have them marked as high danger chances. So basically they're adding on shots into the high danger category that aren't high danger. And that's why Henrik Lundqvist's numbers look as great as they do analytically, because he says that it's the home scorekeepers at MSG that do this, because he has better numbers at home than he does on the road in terms of higher numbers of high danger chances against. So I can't take that guy very seriously. I can't. I'm sorry. Henrik Lundqvist is regarded as the greatest goaltender of his generation for a reason, and actually for reasons, several of those, I should say. and someone is trying to go around saying that scorekeeper bias is the reason why he won a Vezina, or that his analytics are as good as they are. Okay. You try playing behind Michael Roosevelt, Marek Malik, Mark Stahl, Dan Girardi for most of your career, and then not having anyone really that's a top level defenseman other than Ryan McDonough for a while, and then Adam Fox in the very last year of your career. So I don't understand this, but yeah, it's a Kevin. It is. It's a lot of nonsense. So you don't feed into it. Lego Rocks, yeah, and Lego Rocks is, you know what, I like Lego Rocks, and if he feels that Josh Anderson is worth for 2 first-round picks, okay. I mean, I would disagree, and I don't think you would find many that would agree with that assessment, but I respect Lego Rocks' work. I just think that he's buying a little too much into a narrative that he's not really doing enough research into there. That's all. So, but Sheffra, I don't know if I agree with you on Chychrun. I do agree that they should go with more after forwards. We'll talk more about this in a bit, though. I just wanted to bookmark that. Brody, what's going on, man? And yeah, anxiety levels through the roof last game, bud. Through the roof. I think my blood pressure probably skyrocketed, and probably would have broken a machine if I had one on me last night. So, but we're gonna move on from Schneider. Igor, after a not so Igor-like performance, bounces back and was himself again. I know that, a lot of people are going to be like, well, you're criticizing Igor. He's allowed to have a bad game. Yeah, he's allowed to have a bad game. But that's what it was. It was not a good game from Igor against Arizona. But what did he do? He bounced back and was Igor himself last night. Just like we knew he would. Just like we knew he would. It just, it happens. Not everybody's going to have a great night every night that they're out there. Adam Fox has some bad nights. Artemi Panarin has some bad nights. Mika Zibanejad has some bad nights. Chris Kreider was the consistent king of inconsistency from shift to shift, from night to night for every year of his career. And now all of a sudden he's found that consistency. You know what? Igor Shesterkin is allowed to have a night off. But yeah, exactly, Mike. The Tsar wasn't perfect, but even the king got blown out from time to time. You're right. Couldn't have said this any better. Really couldn't have. But yeah, so Igor looked great again. I mean, he looked like he was doing his normal thing. I love his game. I think he's going to be the Vezina winner. I really think that we're going to have another Vezina winner in New York, and that'll be great to have his name listed on the winners of that trophy. Such a prestigious trophy. So good for Igor, because we needed Igor to be the guy. And yeah, I mean, he's looked great for the vast majority of this season. But you're right about this, David. It was halfway through the Arizona game where he kind of bounced back and was just like, okay, like I got this. So, but Igor went 34 saves on 36 shots. So you know what? He looks like himself again. So I don't want to call Igor Shesterkin the next king. I don't. I want Igor Shesterkin to be the first Igor Shesterkin. I don't want him to be the next Henrik Lundqvist. I just want him to be himself and win us a Stanley Cup or 2 or 3. And I know I'm getting greedy, but you know what? This is all I want. Another great and a long line of great New York Rangers goalies. That's what I want. Because the other stuff will come with that if he is that. So, exactly. He's not the next king. He's the czar. And we want, yeah. Or 5, Brody. I know. Let's get greedy while we're at it. Richter, Hank, Igor. Yep. Yeah. And yeah, just to have his number hanging in the rafters. That's what we want at the end of the day. We want that for all of our players, but we do feel that Igor has that special ability. So, Chris, no, you can doubt Gallant. I still have some doubts. There are still some lineup decisions that he makes that, make me question. So don't worry, Chris. You're not going to be the only one that's going to doubt Gerard Gallant at times. So, Gaudreau flying under the radar. I thought that he had a really good game last night. I thought he was solid. Yeah, Sheffra, Dylan Garand. I would love to see Dylan Garand play, very, very well for the Rangers. What's going on, Jason? I see you. Chris, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate that. As always, we always do appreciate that here at Big Apple Hockey. Thank you so much. Again, just friendly reminder, as Mike usually does it for us. Just remember to like, share, and subscribe if you can. Super stickers and and all that other stuff are available too. So thank you very much. We appreciate that. We appreciate all you guys coming on with us as well for all of our shows between me, Mark, Anthony, and then our weekly show, obviously. But you know what? We love doing this, and that's why I do this as much as I can, because you know what? We got good hockey content. I love talking hockey. I'll talk your ear off about hockey all day. I mean, I don't have to say this. I've already said it, and you guys already know it. So we appreciate it. We really do. So thank you very, very, very much, everybody. But yeah, so let me get back to Gaudreau. Sorry. I lost my train of thought there for a second, but Gaudreau. And Jason, thank you very much. We appreciate the kind words, buddy. Always do. So, Barclay Gaudreau flying under the radar. Gets a goal last night. Thought he played solid at both ends of the ice. Ever since they took him out of the top six and they moved him back into the bottom six, he's played well. But he stepped back up with Artemi Panarin playing on the top line last night, and he actually looked good. So he seems to just be moving his feet. He seems to be in the right places again. I know that contract is going to be a little expensive for a guy like him, but he's already tied a career high in goals, and he's on pace for a career high in points. Like he's got a chance at scoring 40 points this year, Barclay Gaudreau. And if you score 40 points, you're definitely worth $3.6 million against the cap. Because 40-point players are getting paid more than $3.6 million. Tell you that right now. So, definitely. I listen, Sheffra, I'll bookmark this. Your comment about Sammy Blais. I totally agree with you. We'll talk about that in a bit. But we will. I mean, Gaudreau starting to look like a crutch. Oh, don't remind me of that. Please don't. Oh God, that's PTSD right there, Chris. That's a major case of PTSD. Oh man, I love that 06-07 team too. Mark, as a birthday present, actually ended up, Mark as just like a gift to us for doing the show and doing all the stuff that we do here. He actually ended up getting me a Liberty jersey that's actually signed by the entire 06-07 team. So yeah. Shanahan with that great start before the Mike Knuble collision where he sustained the concussion. And then, Jaromir Jagr with his last, 90-point season, last point per game season. Just, really, really good stuff. And then Michael Nylander and Martin Straka. I called them the Jagr and Friends line. That was my name for them. So. Nemeth a third, and we come. Oh God! Oh man! I have a friend that actually got the drink at an NYU bar, and JT Miller was there. And JT Miller can run up a tab, Joe. He can run up a tab. And funny enough, the friend who was there was also named Joe. This is interesting. He also ended up walking out with JT Miller's hat because JT Miller, I think, left it behind. Yeah, that was interesting. So, but Barclay Gaudreau is doing, he's doing a lot of good for this team lately. He really is. I love what he's brought. I know that there are going to be nights where people are going to be like, oh, that contract's just too much. And I know that I said that the AAV was a bit high, but he's played well ever since they put him down in that bottom six again. So I really don't have any complaints. He's played center or wing. He's been the good soldier. He's played on the PK. He's played up and down the lineup. What more can you ask for a player? He's fought. He takes faceoffs. He does everything that Turk asks him to do. So, yeah. Again, I've heard about this firsthand. I've actually heard about this firsthand. So, the Senator's taxi cab confessions. Oh my God. I did not expect it. I did not have taxi cab confessions being mentioned in one of our chats on my 2022 New York Rangers bingo card. I'm just going to say that right now. Oh, man. But yeah. Moving on from Barclay Goodrow, though. Morgan Barron has to stay in the lineup. I don't want to hear any arguments about him needs to be sent down because he looks like he belongs. He wins faceoffs. He makes plays. He even won a faceoff last night that I commented that nobody was there for because I made the joke that everybody expects the team to lose the faceoffs. So nobody was there for it when Morgan Barron actually won the faceoff. I guess the team is just not used to it at all. It was just like, oh, no, we're going to lose the faceoff. All three forwards went forward, and the puck went back just behind Barron. So, oh man, yeah, Nemeth and Hunt can go for me. They could definitely go for me, Brody. Absolutely. So, yeah, I believe Gauthier was on the ice for that one. It was the third line because the fourth line was the third line was Hunt, Gauthier, and Barron. And all three forwards literally went forward, and the puck just like sat there behind Barron. Barron won it just back behind him. And then the LA forwards went and advanced with it. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Like, we win the face-off and nobody gets it. And I just sat there and I laughed out loud to myself. I was like, this is the Rangers' luck, man. This is absolutely the Rangers' luck. So, yeah. Sheffer, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Absolutely love it. Again, on behalf of Bay Apple Hockey, we thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. So, but let me go. I said they aren't used to that. That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh, they're not used to winning the faceoff, so nobody was there. So I'm still just laughing about it, thinking about it in the back of my head. So thank you, Sheffer. I appreciate it. This is probably the thing that I'm most passionate about. I mean, I love music. I love sports. I love video games. I love anime. I love Star Wars, Marvel, but wrestling. But hockey is the one thing that I am most passionate about above all. I've been playing for almost 30 years. I love everything about this sport. I've met so many good friends from it. It's given me life, especially, when I was at in my darkest hour. Hockey gave me reasons, to move on and face that next day when, things weren't looking good for me. So at my worst times, I always had hockey. I always tell myself this: if I ever get married, just get married to hockey, because unlike women, sorry for all the female viewers, but unlike women, hockey will never let me down. So yeah, yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I owe so much to hockey. I really do. But Morgan Barron, I can't say enough. Hey, there we are. My boy, Christopher Ryan. What's going on, bud? But yeah, it's like I said, hockey's just given me so much. That's one of my friends from hockey right there. One of my Armory family, I call him. So yeah, we love the game. I've met such a good group of friends that I play hockey with now. I can't say enough about this. So I love it. And always make sure that you have someone that loves hockey. So this way you have someone to enjoy it with. So, yeah, baby. That's how we do. Armory fans sticking together. Love it. Love it. Dylan's in the chat there too, Chris, right there. And Jason's in here too, Dylan. Pickles New Year. Oh my God. And yes, David, the Rangers constantly, they let me down a lot, but over the years it happens, but the Rangers have not been letting me down so far this year. Because let's be honest, people, Ranger fans, who the hell thought the Rangers would be where they are on January 25th? I said the same thing on January 3rd. I said, who the hell thought the Rangers would be first in the NHL on January 3rd? If you would have told me that, I would have laughed at you. And look at where we are. We're January 25th. Chris Kreider leads the NHL in goals. The Rangers are first in the division. Yeah, sure. Carolina has games in hand. Yeah, not me either, Chris. Not me either. It's crazy. And this is right. It's the most unexpected season. And you're getting guys like Morgan Barron right here. I got to point to it. Morgan Barron in the lineup. Like, I love seeing it. It is fantastic. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's just, and I just said this in a group chat with a bunch of other friends that I text with. And I said, it's been 5 years since this team has seen a playoff series. And I'm not counting the the play-in round as a series. I'm talking a legit best-of-7 series. It's been 5 years. It's half a decade. Like, it feels so long since we've seen this. Like, remember Chris Kreider setting up Mika Zibanejad, or quote unquote setting up, because it was kind of a deflected, broken play. But the game winner that Mika had against Montreal in overtime on Carey Price, and Tanner Glass's ridiculous game one backhand goal that the Rangers won 1-0 off of, or 2-0, I think it was, because they had the empty net. I mean, like, it's crazy to think about how long ago that was. And now here we are 5 years later. We hadn't seen the playoffs, an actual playoff series since then. So it's just enjoy it. Let's just enjoy this. That's why I'm trying not to be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy or anything like that. Like, there are certain things that I harp on because I just want this team to be better. I want this team to do as good as they can, get the best possible seed, win a couple of playoff rounds possibly. You know what? Remember this. Nobody thought the 2014 team was going to go as far as they were going to go before that postseason started. And if you tell me that you thought that, I would call you a liar. I'm sorry, I'm going to call you a liar. Because nobody could have seen that coming. Especially when they were down 3-1 against Pittsburgh. We all thought they were done. And then they won Game 5. And then what happened in Game 6? The Mother's Day miracle. Marty St. Louis gets that fluky bounce off of his body, and it goes in. They go on to win that one, and then they go to Pittsburgh. Brian Boyle scores the first goal. It gets tied, and then Brad Richards comes in clutch again and scores the game winner to take them to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, you know what? Unexpected can happen. This season is proof of it. What I'm most impressed with this year is the New York Rangers play from behind. You know what? I totally agree with this, and I've talked about this. I don't like their starts. Their starts have been a big problem. But you gotta love the way that they get better as the game goes along. The only thing that I can say that could really be a problem with this is the fact that if they continue to start poorly in the playoffs, that can kill them. And that's got to be addressed. But the way that they get better as the game goes along, no matter how good the team is that they're facing, is a really good sign. So if they could just fix that poor start problem and even play at like a 50-50 level to start the game, they're going to be a problem for teams, especially if they make a couple of acquisitions at the deadline. They're a few pieces away. And yeah, and Brody, this too. Hot goaltending and buying in can take you far in the playoffs. Look at the Islanders. I know we're all Ranger fans here. We don't want to talk about the Islanders, but Barry Trotz is the model of it. I'll tell you that right now. Barry Trotz got Alex Ovechkin, Evgeny Kuznetsov, and all those other guys to buy in Washington. And what happened? They won. He got them to buy in on the island after John Tavares left, and everybody thought that that team was doomed, and they went to 2 straight conference finals. Buying in and good goaltending can win. It can. So they got to buy in, but they have to start strong, or start at least at states. Tread water to start. So, yeah, Chris, I did go over a couple of these. I like Chytil. I like Jared McCann. You know what? If Jared McCann and Mark Giordano came cheap, I'd be for that too, if they could somehow pull a package for that. Because Jared McCann would be the third-line center that this team needs. You can also play both wing spots, and he can play on the power play and kill penalties. And then Mark Giordano would just be a real good veteran depth defenseman addition on that blue line. And you could put him with Braden Schneider. If I could get Trouba and Miller, Schneider and Giordano, and Fox and Lindgren as my 3 defense pairings heading into the playoffs, I would feel very comfortable in a 7-game series against almost any team. So, but yeah, Chris G, yeah, definitely. JT, I don't think John Tavares is really a great two-way forward. And, you know, Barzal still hasn't given them the offense that they thought, but he's bought in. And I think maybe his points may never get back up to 85, 90 points like he could have been, you know, under, you know, Doug Weight. But he, again, if you're getting a complete 70-point player as opposed to a one-way lazy 80-point player, I'm taking the complete 70-point player over the one-way 80-point player. So, yeah, and Messier is never going to be a general manager. I don't think he, at one, has the desire to, and 2, I don't think he's ever going to get the chance, especially in this organization. So, don't have to worry about that. But, Brody, you're right about this. We can't go into Nemeth. It can't go with Nemeth playing. I hope this is it. I would rather see Libor Hayek in the lineup than Nemeth. So, and that was really it for all the good.
That's good.
Now we go on to the bad. I don't have. I actually have one ugly. So we'll get through the bad quickly. Trouba and Miller were a little shaky last night. I thought that Mess is doing mushrooms at Joshua Tree. Yeah, Mess ruined the Rangers as a GM too, Shefra. He was the reason behind the Zubov and Nedved for Robitaille and Samuelson trade. So, yeah, not happy with that one. So, and yeah, Hayek upgrade for once. Crazy to think about, right? But yeah, Trouba and Miller with a little bit of a shaky game. Not terrible, but again, you need them to be better. If they're going to be your second pairing and they're going to play about 20 minutes a night, they've got to be better than what they've been giving you lately. And they're just still a little too many defensive miscues for my liking. And yeah, you know what, Sheffer? I'll give you that. Overall, his year has been pretty good, better as of late. He's had a pretty good year. But I think that they need to be better. I think the bigger issue is Miller and the fact that he makes mistakes that defensemen in Bantam and Pee Wee don't make. Like, letting forwards get behind you is a big thing. Like, you can't let forwards get behind you on the breakaway. For breakaways like that. You can't run out of position. Like Nemeth and how he basically screwed over Schneider and on the same play in 2 different games against Carolina and Arizona, where he chased the guy behind the net to Schneider's side and left his guy open. He left Niederreiter open in the Carolina game, and I forget who it was in the Arizona game that he left open. I think it was Schmaltz, was it? So, could be wrong there on the Arizona one, but I know it was Niederreiter in the Carolina game. So, yeah, again, Miller does those types of things, so he's got to work on that. I mean, is he as bad as Nemeth? No, obviously not. But Miller does have to work on like attention to details at his own end. He needs to be better. So, and Schneider, I would love to see Schneider on the second pairing, but Trouba plays the right side. So unless Trouba's willing to play left side, then you're not really going to get anything out of it. Or Schneider could play left side. One of the two. One of the two is going to have to play their off wing if that's going to be the case. So, but I'll move on to that because I'm not going to harp too much. There's not a whole lot to say. Dryden Hunt needs to sit. I'm sorry, but he looks bad. His legs don't look there. I don't know if he's just still not hurt or still hurt or something. Chris, thank you for joining. I appreciate it, brother. I'll talk to you later. Good luck with your schoolwork and everything like that. So, but Dryden Hunt just you need more. And the way that he was skating earlier on in the year was so good, and he fit in well for a little bit with that line with Brett and Strome, and just I don't know what happened to him. And I don't get it. I really don't. The legs just aren't moving. The big part of his game was the fact that his legs would move and he was all over the place. If he's hurt, then please sit. So, John Weber, definitely agree with you here. Greco over Hunt. I loved Greco's game when he was in. I thought he was one of the better skaters than the game that he played. So, but I would take Greco in the lineup right now over Dryden Hunt. It just something's off, and there needs to be a change. The fourth line pulled a disappearing act. I thought that this was one of their worst games all year. I don't want to say their absolute worst because I think Vegas made them look bad, but I just don't. I don't think that they were good enough last night. I think they were invisible. Even Rooney, who tried, he didn't look too good. McKegg just needs to be. He needs to be sent down. I know he had a good game a couple of games ago, but it's just not enough. They really the fourth line lacks when Gaudreau is not on it, and somebody brought that up to me today, and I agree with it. I do. And Revo did not look good against the Kings. The Kings are just a very fast skating team, and it seems like Revo can't keep up with a lot of those teams that could really wheel. So they might need an option in the playoffs against those teams that can really, really skate. So, Mr. Fantastic, welcome back. I'm going to bookmark that question you just asked. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Mike, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Greco and Bradzinski from what he showed actually can move his feet. So I don't think I would mind Bradzinski in the fourth line. I think he's played all right. I don't really have any complaints about his game. So, yeah. Rare game, Brody. You're right. The Howden polishing Quinn's shoes or digging up whatever uncompromising pictures he had of him or whatever the case may be. I don't know what it was. But Howden getting his ice time was ridiculous. But then the fourth line has been really good overall. Just not a good game for them last night. And that'll wrap up the bad for me.
Ooh, that's bad.
And then we're going to move on to the ugly. I only have one ugly thing, and I think you guys all know what it is. Thankfully, Brendan Lemieux is no longer a Ranger. No longer a Ranger. He needs to not be a Ranger anymore, or he's not a Ranger anymore, and I'm thankful that he's not a Ranger anymore because of the fact of the supposed problems that he caused in the locker room, and then what he did to Ryan Lindgren last night, and that's a big thing for me. You know what? You don't do what he did. There's no place for that in hockey. It's not even a borderline hit. That's a terrible hit, and that's just a hit that he didn't need to make. It was a dirty play. There's no place for that, and Ryan Lindgren definitely did not. He definitely did not take kindly to that. So Brendan Lemieux, good riddance. Sayonara. See you later. No, it's not political. He had kind of a mouth on him. There were some words that he was not. There was word that he was not well liked by some of the guys in the locker room. So, I mean, I can't say with the utmost certainty that there might. It's a tough situation. Because I've heard this, and it's from someone that I trust, and it wasn't political. I know that, but I can tell you right now, he rubs off on people the wrong way. So, but yeah, those two were friends. That I know. So I know those two were friends. But thank God, neither of them is a Ranger anymore. We don't have to worry about them. And, he bit someone earlier on this year, Brady Tkachuk, of all people. So, yeah, Revo can chirp, and he plays clean, and he plays hard, and he's intimidating. So, yeah, I'm thankful we have Revo. I'd rather have Revo than Brendan Lemieux. I'll tell you that right now. So, but, yeah, so thankfully, this team is playing well without him, and we don't need the dirtbaggery that he brings, especially with hits like last night. I have no place for that in hockey. So, but we are done with the my bullet points. So I am going to go through and do a little Q&A here. Hey, Diane, good to see you again. Go through these. Chris T, why do people want to trade Nils all of a sudden? I think he still has far more potential than Miller. It's not that I think that people want to trade Nils, Chris. I think it's that people are probably resigned to the fact that he will be traded. And that's the biggest thing here. So I don't want to say that I would want to trade him, but he could end up getting traded. I would rather move Miller before I move him. So, David, yeah, there were some that did and there were some that didn't. So, and I'm going to go through the other ones that I have bookmarked here. Sheffer, we don't need Chikrin. We need a top 6 winger, I assume you're saying there. Should be one of Laf, Kakko, or even FIlip. That makes... well, yeah, they need help on the wings. That's no doubt about that, Sheffer. No doubt. We've talked about that, so I can't really say enough. We've kind of gone over it. Some guys that we thought would be available. So, yeah, I think that, but you know what? We're going to play a little game. I'm going to give you guys some names and girls. So I see you all in here. Ooh, Keandre Miller, Kravtsov, and a first for Chikrin. Joe, I do that. I probably do that. I know I might be crazy for saying that, but I would definitely get I would definitely be on board with getting Jacob Chikrin for that. So we're gonna play a little game here. I'm gonna give you some names, and you're going to rank them for me in terms of who you think is touchable to who you think is the most untouchable. So the guys that you think and I had this list of names up too. So let's all right, so I'm going to give you a bunch of names here. And you tell me where you think they rank in the untouchable list, and give me a list in the chat from top. The top is the most touchable, to the bottom is the most untouchable. So the names in this list are Vitaly Kravtsov, Nils Lundqvist, Braden Schneider, Keandre Miller, FIlip Chytil, Kaapo Kakko, Morgan Barron, and Alexis Lafreniere. So that's 8 names on that list. I'll give you all a little time, and we'll play a little game. So type it in the chat. Rank them 1. 1 is most tradable. 8 is the most untouchable. So, well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. I mean, I try to be the resident eye candy on here since Mark Williams isn't pulling the ladies into the shows, So. Touchable to untouchable, yes. Here, we'll do them in format. Most tradable to then 3, and then so I'll give you a little template to run with here. Yeah, I definitely spelled that wrong. I'm trying over here to get everything going here, but just rank them in order if you can. Just and then I figured, what, a little fun, something a little different. Get you all stirring in the comments too as well. Have a little fun with it, And we'll do another one too. I'll probably stay on until about, like, I would say 7:15. I think I'll go to, because I still got to eat some dinner and stuff, and then I'm gonna watch some hockey as well tonight. So we'll do a little quick rundowns of games too. All right, so I'll give you the names here. Names: Lundqvist, Miller, Kakko, Lafreniere, Chytil, Aaron, who else did I say? Schneider, Kravtsov, yes. Rank them all. Tradable to 8 as most untouchable. Mr. Fantastic, first one to do it the exact way I wanted it to. So this is how you guys should all, and girls should all, list it here. Just do it the same way Mr. Fantastic did. So 1 Chytil, 2 Barron, 3 Lundqvist, 4 Kravtsov, 5 Miller, 6 Schneider, 7 Kakko, 8 Lafreniere. All right. That's one for Mr. Fantastic. Mike, 1 Kravtsov, 2 Chytil, 3 Nils, 4 Miller, 5 Schneider, 6 Barron, 7 Kakko, 8 Laf. Wow. I'm surprised that, Mikey, you have Morgan Barron ahead of ahead of Braden Schneider. I am really surprised by that. I am curious to hear your reasoning, Mike. Definitely curious to hear your reasoning. John, 1 Miller, or 1 Chytil, 2 Miller, 3 Kravtsov, 4 Barron, 5 Kakko, 6 Nils, 7 Schneider, 8. Wow, I'm surprised you have Kakko in front of Nils and Schneider. Wow. So Brody's list is also the same as Mr. Syntastics. Okay. Mike, it was just a toss-up. Think we're weaker on forwards. Okay. Okay, no problem. No problem. No, that's fine, Diane. No problem. Chris G, Chytil, Lundqvist, Miller, Kravtsov, Kakko, Barron, Schneider, Lafreniere. Wow. Another one with Barron ahead of Kakko. I'm surprised. Lou, Chytil, Kravtsov, Miller, Jones, Barron, Nils, Kakko, Laffy, Schneider. So you went with an extra one. So you went with 9. Okay. I should have listed Jones there too. And Jones, you know what? I saw this on Twitter yesterday, and it sparked up some interesting debates. So that's why I wanted to bring it into here. And I'm going to give you my list right now. So, and you know what? I'll include Zach Jones in there. Actually, I'll include a 9th one on mine then. So, Kravtsov. That's my list with Jones added since Lou mentioned Jones, which was good. I like that. Joe, I like yours here. Miller, I think Miller is very movable. I think he's very movable, and I think there's a chance if they do trade for Chytil that he's in that deal. I think there's a very good chance. Chytil, I think, is the next most movable. I agree with you there. I agree with Kravtsov being movable there. I don't agree with Kakko being ahead of Barron. I get why some people say that because of the center position, but I ultimately think that they would move Barron for an upgrade before they would move Kakko based on pure potential. I also think they would move Nils before Kakko. And I think that they would move Schneider before Kakko or Lafreniere just because of pure potential. But Schneider and Kakko is a very, very close one for me. And yeah, Brody, see, I mean, that's the beautiful part of this game. We can have these debates. We can have fun with them. FIlip, Nils, Jones, Miller, KK. Not a bad little list there, Sheffra. I think Miller's a little more movable. There's a difference between movable and going to be moved in thinking the organization thinks higher than me. You know what? Listen, I don't know how highly they think of Miller. I know for a while they have. I'm not sure of how highly they think of him right now. I'm not saying that they don't think highly of him, but I do think that there is a good chance that he could be in a Jacob Chytil deal. That's just me. So, all right. So that little game was fun. I'll have another little game for you guys, actually, and girls. So the other one I'm going to do, I'm going to give you 5 names. And 5 names to choose from as the free agents, or I'm sorry, as trade targets, I should say. And you give me who you think that Mr. Fantastic, I'm with you. I think those are the 3 most untouchable players that we have right now in terms of the younger players, I should say. Obviously, you're not moving Strome or Panarin or Zibanejad or Fox or anything like that. But yeah. Yeah, maybe, Joe. I don't know about the last part. Kakko definitely has more value than Barron in a trade. I like Barron as a 3C right now. If you put him with the right wingers, I think he could be productive. I just don't think that they would ever think about moving Kakko before Barron. I just don't think that they would ever would. So, yeah, he might be small, Rick, but I can tell you right now, he's very good for his size. He's very good. He's solid in his own end, and he's very good at skating and shooting. Like, he reminds me a lot of Adam Fox, but with better skating and shooting, and just less smarts. The smarts are what make Adam Fox. Smarts and his skills what make Adam Fox so great. Jones has some skill and he has some smarts, but they're nowhere near Fox's level. He's just a much better skater and shooter and plays the same type of game. So, but I'm going to give you 5 names, and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do trade targets. So the trade target you want most is number 1, and the trade target you want the least is number 5. And you can give me some reasons too why. So, all right. So 1 most desired trade target, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the names I'm going to give you are Pavelski, Hertl. Well, not necessarily. You know what? I might give more than 5. Let's see how many names I could come up with here. I'm not going to list Giroux because I don't think Giroux is realistic at all, and I don't think Philadelphia will deal in division. So I'm not gonna list him. So I'm not gonna list that. Are there any others I can think of? So these names here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 names there. So you list them in the same order, except 1 is going to be the most desired trade target. So that's the one you want most, and then obviously all the way down, goes down is to the one you want the least. So give me your lists here. We'll have a little comparison here. I like doing these because it gives you some opportunity to have some fun and give a little bit of a different look to things. I like it. Helps generate discussion. So, but yeah, I think that these are all realistic trade targets, or guys that they could be linked to or have been linked to at least. So let's see what you all have to say about those. And while we're doing that, anybody see Johnny Manziel at the game? Because I thought that was pretty hilarious. The thing going around on Ranger Twitter was apparently noted Ranger fan Johnny Manziel now. So Johnny Manziel is now into hockey apparently, which is kind of funny. So we got the first one from Joe. Joe wants Pavelski, and then Chychrun, Hertl, Riley Smith, McCann, Giordano, Kessel. I noticed that you did not put JT Miller or Lawson Krause in there, Joe. Wow. Okay. So I guess you don't want those guys at all. Shefra, Miller, Hurdle, Chytil, Geo, and then pass on the rest. Okay. Okay. Okay, so Miller, Pavelski, Chytil, McCann, Kessel, Hurdle, Krause, Lowry for faceoffs. That's an interesting one, Lou. I don't know if Winnipeg moves him, but I would definitely take Adam Lowry. Rick Giordano at a reasonable price. Brody, Hurdle, Carlson is out long term for injury. San Jose could fall off and become sellers. Ooh, okay. 2 Pavelski, 3 McCann, 4 Giordano, 5 Kessel, 6 Riley Smith, 7 Chytil, 8 Krause. Okay. Louis LaBouche, yeah. I don't think I've seen you in the comment section before, so welcome to the channel. But yeah, you're definitely right, Louis. We definitely need someone who can win faceoffs. Hi, Morgan Barron. Just hope that Gallant continues to play him, because he should. Kevin, Chytil, Pavelski, Giordano, Hurdle, McCann, Krause, Kessel, Miller. All right, so Krause got a little love from Kevin. Good, I like that, because I think Krause can definitely help this team. Forgot Miller, too. Don't want him. All right, makes sense. I don't blame people for not wanting JT Miller. Mike, 1 McCann. All right, McCann getting some love here. Pavelski, Riley Smith, Chytil, Krause, Hurdle, Miller, Giordano, Kessel. I see the pattern with you, Mike. You do not want to spend big on rentals, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. David, yes, Lowry does add a lot of grit, and he can win faceoffs, and he's pretty big, and he can skate well for his size. So, yeah. Chris G, Miller, Hurdle, Pavelski, Smith. Don't care for a winger, but he could play. He could play on either of those 2 lines, Chris. So I definitely think Smith is going to be an option. But the only problem with Smith is that Las Vegas is probably going to be able to use LTIR to get through the rest of the season and then get everybody back for the playoffs. So they're not going to need to. They're not going to need to move anybody. So. John Lee, Hurdle, Chytil, McCann, Geo, Kessel, Smith, Krause, Miller, Pavelski, and there he is, Andrew Kopp. Oh, I knew you had to list him in there. I knew you did. But I'm surprised that McCann fell to number 3 for you. You've been harping for McCann for a while, John. You've been with me on that train. Mr. Fantastic, Miller, number 1, Pavelski 2, 3 for Kessel, 4 for McCann, 5 for Chytil, 6 Hurdle, Giordano 7, 8 Smith, 9 Krause. Wow, I'm surprised Krause is that far down people's lists. I think he fits a lot of things that this team needs. That's just me. So Joe, I like Miller, but I don't see it happening. He's in that Drew box, different reason. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Joe. I definitely don't think they're in on JT Miller. Something seems very off on that. Like, if that was the case, we would have heard something from Larry Brooks or one of the local beat reporters. It's coming all out of Vancouver and Sarah Valley and everything like that. So I'm not buying it. Yeah, Lowry is definitely a good ad, but I just don't know if they're going to move him. Kevin, very true. Don't want to spend a lot of money on a rental either. Yeah, I mean, you get it. I get it. I prefer we spend cheap too. The question was who we like most, so I put cost into the equation. Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted you all to do. You didn't put cost into the equation. So, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's just who you like the most. You could have been realistic with the cap and everything like that. You could have been unrealistic. We were just for fun, really. But that's why John Lee put in Andrew Kopp, because I know he loves Andrew Kopp. And he had to throw that in there just to get a reaction out of me. That's why he did it. But It's good. See, this is good discussion. This is fun. It's something different. I just wanted to add something different, a different element, to these broadcasts, and not give you the same old, material over and over again. I mean, we could go through, the good, bad, and the ugly, and we could do Q&A. But you know what? If I give you something different, you know what? Hey, new wrinkle to the show. Or you know what? Hell, maybe I can even do a Philk top 10 plays of the night, or top 10 moments of the night, or even around the league top 10 or something like that. I could do something like that, and and if you saw it, you saw it. If not, I could do that. So just something new that I thought I would throw at you all. And you all seem to like it, and you all were very, very active with it, and very responsive, and good. It worked out the way that I wanted it to work out. So good. I'm glad you all liked it. You know what? I wonder if they would actually move Draisaitl. So, and yes, I'm very happy that everybody seemed to like it, and everybody was involved that was in here. So. I can't, you know what? McDavid could probably make 10 plays in a night that would make a top 10. So, you know what? I don't need this judgment in my life. McDavid, it's not my fault McDavid is a human highlight reel. Jeez. And Mike, thank you. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. Smash that like button. Absolutely destroy that like button. And definitely let us know that you appreciate the content by doing so. We love it. We love giving you guys more and girls more content. So appreciate it. And you know what? And that's another thing. A lot of other shows that I watch, it's just people talking. And obviously that's a big part of a podcast or a live stream is someone talking. But if I can get you all to participate and keep you interested and engaged in different ways, then I'm doing something right. And that's what we want to do here at Big Apple Hockey. We want to do things right. We want to do things that are interesting, that are unique, that are different. You know what? We'll do trivia too. We can do trivia too. That's another thing I could think of. We can definitely start doing trivia questions. I'll start pulling out trivia questions. I'll make them. I'll try to keep them Rangers related, but we can do around the league ones too. So. But, yeah, you know what? It's just different ways to do different things to keep you all interested and to keep you all coming back for more. It's really what it comes down to. And not only that, but by doing so, we're going to have more and better hockey conversation that way. So that's the ultimate goal. Philk's Trivia Night. Who brings the beer? Hi. Hi. I mean, I'll have a beer over here. If you stump the Philk, I have to drink. That would be a good one, right? And thank you, Sheffer. I appreciate that. So, oh God, this is a great one. I was in Lindenhurst, New York, in my bedroom, watching that game on my box TV, and I was an 11-year-old kid who wanted to stay up to watch the rest of that game, and I turned down the volume and tried to make sure that I did not get heard watching the rest of that game because I was told to go to bed because I was young, and my mother was like, oh, well, you got to get up for school, and that game went to OT, and it took forever and a day to decide that game. No, David, it actually did not. Yes, Swindlehurst. Yes, as we call it, Swindlehurst. So, but yes, no, David, I did not have a VCR connected to the bottom on the cable box or the box TV, as you're asking. Nothing like that. But I was I was probably, like I said, I was 11 years old. I turned 12 in November of 97, and I was a huge Gretzky fanboy. So Wayne Gretzky coming to the Rangers was an absolute dream. I was on cloud nine, and I will never forget being told by some Islander fan friends that Wayne Gretzky couldn't shoot the puck and that he wasn't scoring goals anymore and all this other shit. And I was like, oh, really? So I was like, Wayne Gretzky's got one of the most accurate shots in the game. It's just not the most powerful. He's not Brett Hull, or he's not Chris Chelios or Al McInnes or someone like that. So what does Wayne Gretzky do that game? He goes and scores on 2 booming slap shots. One in off the post on John Van Beesbrook. And then the stop and pull-up move on that 2-on-1 with Luke Robitaille was just incredible. He just literally faked the slap shot with his left hand, put on the brakes, and just pulled up, and then pulled up and actually took the shot and blasted it in right off the post. I went berserk when he scored that hat trick. I went berserk. I was always crazy with wrestling and stuff like that when like the Road Warriors would come out, or Hulk Hogan or Sting, especially Sting's old WCW theme was like one of my favorite themes. And every time I would hear that, I would go nuts. But when Gretzky scored that first goal, the third goal, I'm sorry, it just, wow. But I had to stay as silent as a mouse when I found out that Tikkanen's goal hit the goal cam in overtime. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, oh my God. So, oh man, just great memories. Oh man. Wait, you missed that game and you found out your wife was pregnant with your first. Wow, geez. That's a story and a half, Brody. I just, there are certain things I remember with hockey. I sometimes I can't remember what I did like 2 days ago, but I can remember shit like that for some reason. I don't know why. Mike, you're right. Gretzky is a lot like Foxy in the sense that he's the smartest guy on the ice, and he knows where the play is going to be 2 to 3 steps from now. So, rest in peace to number 9. Yeah, WCW Nitro's last episode. Yeah, that was sad, David. That was sad. It was very, very sad. But I will go back. I'm going to go back and go through some of these other ones. Mr. Fantastic, I saw this before. Just wanted to get back to this. Edmonton going fast. Do I think it's possible to put together a package for Draisaitl? No. And the fact that he's got a new contract coming up in a few years, I think it's like 2 or 3 years that he's got left on his deal, I believe, after this one. Let me just check on that, actually. Draisaitl. I think it's 2 years after this year, I believe. But I just want to make sure. No, it's 3 years after this year. Okay, so he's going to ask for a massive raise from that $8.5 million. I don't think they can pull that off, Mr. Fantastic. I really don't. Coco Marsh, what about sending Laf down to Hartford to play some right wing and to get some confidence back? I don't think they're going to do that, Coco. Sorry, but I don't see it. Let's see here. Going back through some of these comments here. Well, Clark Gillies, yeah. I did that on my last final buzzer. We did a tribute to Clark Gillies before that started. So rest in peace. Just a big loss in the world for hockey. Just a player respected and feared by just about everyone. So, and And there are some people in sports who you wonder how they still have a job. Eric Bischoff is one of those. Eric Bischoff is not hired anymore, but he's still relevant in the wrestling world. So I'm the same. Yeah, I could forget what I did like 5 minutes ago sometimes, but I can remember stuff with the Rangers. It's crazy. Alexander Rene Diaz. Well, welcome to the show. I don't think I've seen you before. I think McDavid could, if he demands a trade, yeah. But I think Draisaitl would probably gain more on the market because I think more teams could afford him cap-wise. So, Chris, to say no to Draisaitl because there are a good amount of players that can give us a cup when the time is right. You need the depth, yeah. And Lou's right. Too many apples in one basket. You got to be careful. Only works if the cap goes up when we move Kreider. I agree with you there. I don't see it either anymore. I wanted left to be sent down as well, but after the shootout, yeah, I don't know. I hope the shootout helps Lafreniere. So I really do. But yeah, he made nice work of Quick there with that move. He really did. So, but Shefra, different story. A lot of extenuating circumstances around that one. Peter Pocklington was bleeding money. He was bleeding out cash. And he went and basically traded Gretzky behind his back. And Gretzky had the power to veto the trade. Janet Jones, his wife, ended up she was an actress in LA at the time, and she wanted to move there. 99 was also moved well before the salary cap, and there was a lot of cash, $15 million moved in that deal to Edmonton to help Pocklington. So definitely some major differences. So I don't like that. McDavid makes about $4.5 million more than Draisaitl, or $3.5 million. No, $4 million more. Sorry, McDavid makes $12.5 million against the cap. Draisaitl makes only $8.5 million against the cap. But the $4 million against the cap is a huge difference, and that's really the thing. So, and that's why more teams can afford it. Yeah, and we're hoping that, Chris. That's the hope. But I'm going to pack it up for the night. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it very much. And to those who, sent the super stickers and made the donations today, Chris G. I know Shefra was another one. You made a donation as well. Thank you both very much. We appreciate that. Just remember, please, if you can, like, share, and subscribe. Word of mouth helps too. Tell everybody about Big Apple Hockey. It's a good place to come and talk hockey. A good community that we have going here. Interactive shows, different wrinkles that we're adding to things, and you know what, we're still growing. So, we appreciate all the help that we can get with that, and you guys are a big responsibility, or you guys are a big part of that, and responsible for all this. So, thank you all. We appreciate it. And tune in tomorrow. We'll be going on about 4:15 tomorrow. So I don't know if you have the notifications on, but definitely check that out. So, thank you again, everybody, for joining me and BSing and talking hockey with me. So as Mr. Syntastic said here, good night and let's go Rangers. Take care, everybody.